The first day of this great 8th annual Knock and Roll Wheelchair Rugby Tournament in Lake Worth, Florida. And this game is going to be an interesting game. We have the Texas Stampede playing against the South Florida Rattlers. And I'm going to be joined in a short while by John Bishop, who has organized this tournament, and he'll be here in a minute. And meanwhile, we're looking forward now. At this point, Texas has won one and lost one, and the Rattlers have actually lost two. I said the Rattlers would love to have this opportunity to upset Texas, and we'll see what happens. And here's John Bishop. Thank you for joining me.
Sorry for the late start.
Not a problem. We're here before the ball gets thrown up, and that's all that matters. And I was just saying that I think the Rattlers, who've lost two, would like to have a chance to win one before the day's out.
Absolutely. This important game, if they hope to, finish in the top four.
Okay, right off to an early, looks like start, and a score for the Rattlers. Number 25, Martin LaRoque from the Canada team playing with him with a nice pass, and Texas with the ball. As Shimakawa with the ball, and he's been a fireball in this game and the last few games with his speed. And Mark Subban, of course, has been really awesome. A tough game against Lake for them.
Yeah, it was a very, very tight game. But well played on both teams' behalf.
Okay. Looks like they called. Okay. Tied 1-1. Waiting for that score to go up there. Okay, Say with the ball, and Say is another speedster out there, and he's look at that, he did some nice avoiding.
Caught Shimakawa sleeping on that one.
And he was upset with himself for letting that happen.
Yep.
He saw that block and just didn't execute. South Florida playing with a team that's been put together from various different sources. A Japanese national team member, Shinjo. We've got two Canadians, Garrett Hinckley.
Garrett and Say and Martin are all from Canada. Charles Ray is the only local here at the moment. Number 10, he's a .5.
So right now what you're seeing is three Canadians and a Japanese member playing for South Florida.
Well, no, we've got
who else is on
three Canadians and an American on the South Florida team on the court at the moment.
Charles Ray is on there, okay.
Yep. But we do have a Japanese player playing with Texas, Shimakawa, number 10. He is probably the fastest wheelchair rugby athlete in the world.
All right, nice pass there, Scott.
Pass to Scott.
Grab a hold of it. Yes, he does. All right, that puts the score 2-2. It's 6 minutes 54 seconds into the first period. And we've seen some great action here today. We had a couple of the game against Team Canada and Germany was a pretty strong victory for Team Canada.
Yes, it was. And, there haven't really been any total blowouts in this tournament so far.
That last game was a blowout.
Right, the last game between Sarasota or Hoveround Gunners and Lakeshore was a blowout, but as we mentioned earlier, I think Hoveround, one of their players broke his finger last week at practice, so they're not able to run their normal lineup, which hurt them. So
there was a 1-0 game. Interesting to see the Rattlers tying up number 10 there, Shinichi, something that Lakeshore did, forcing Mark to try to move the ball, but they're not as effective in terms of causing Mark a lot of stress. He was working hard against Lakeshore.
Well, the Rattlers are doubling Shimakawa, and Texas is doubling Garrett.
Oh, look at that. Oh.
Now the ball, so now we've got a 4-on-3 situation, and the Rattlers are going to score. So.
Yeah, they're going to score, and then they'll pick up there.
And the reason they didn't call timeout on that was because the player that was over wasn't in the field to play. There was no possibility of him being injured or someone else being injured because of where he went down.
Plus the fact is that he was, the other team had the ball, right?
Right.
So it's not like it caused them any reason. Reaching in foul against Say, and he's going to spend a minute over here in the penalty box.
Come back over to the sin bin.
Yep.
We can try to get a quick little interview.
I'll tell you what, we've seen him. He's been a spark plug for this team. Fast, good passing.
Yep.
You can see
You ready to get back, Rock?
the kind of game. Here comes Texas. Mark on his way. This is a tough one if we keep having to play. It can end up a 9 o'clock game.
Yeah. And you can see Texas, I mean, they're very confident with the ball and they'll play good rugby, but they're at a little bit of a disadvantage against some teams because they don't have a tall team.
That's right.
So you see where the Rattlers, when they're inbounding, they've got Garrett out of the play now, so they had to do a give and go situation, but Garrett and Martin from Canada, they can both get their arms up high for an inbound.
Look at Say, look at that beautiful move. Finding the hole, coming around, and not much you can do with that. Not much you can do with that.
Nope.
Yeah, Garrett Hinkling is one of the starters on the Canadian team.
Well, Garrett was on the 96 Paralympic team with Canada. They won the silver medal in Atlanta.
It's an easy pass to Shinichi. Let's just give him a score of 5 here.
5-0. And Garrett, they call him the Warrior. He has been in, well, he's played in every World Championship and every Paralympic game for Team Canada, and he had some health issues last year that he had to have some pretty extensive surgery, and but he's making a real nice comeback.
Pass to Garrett. And Garrett right past the block of Scott Hudson. Couldn't take him out.
6-5, the Rattlers are ahead.
Yep. There we go. Here's Mark Satan. Say, trying to block him, does.
Good defense.
He goes
in
around
the
on the other side, puts the ball in the court. He gets
Good
another hit
pressure
there.
here, but he's over the half.
And there, he's not going to be stopped today. I think he had his moment there earlier against Lakeshore. I think he's determined to come away with a strong victory here.
Yeah, yeah.
If he could do it all by himself, he would.
Yep. He got a little horse race here, and Zupan realized he wasn't going to get him.
No.
So it takes a lot of strength and energy to go back and forth up and down this court here for 8 minutes, 4 8-minute
and
periods.
This court particularly is a little harder for them.
Yeah, typically we like to play on a hardwood court, and this is what they refer to as a sport court. So it's got a foam finish to it. It's softer, so it's definitely harder to push on.
Mark. Oh, look at that nice block by Scott. Not much they could do about that one.
Nope.
Scott. It's basically a back and forth scoring going on here. 7-7 with 4 minutes and 30 seconds left, and we're seeing some fast action here. Let's see if the Rattlers can keep up with Texas. The Rattlers. They've played some tough games here.
Texas is running what they refer to as a high-low lineup. They're running 2 3s and 2 1s. Or back in the early days of rugby, people were classified either A, B, or C, so they also refer to as AC lineup.
I know Texas would enjoy getting a good lead and throwing some of their subs into this game.
Yes,
like they did at the Lakeshore. Then it was basically the 4-man team played the whole game.
Yep. What we call Iron Man rugby. And
Mark with a pass. Oh, nice. Oh, look at this. Can he do it?
Yep, up to Norm Lidock. And
Norm
will
goes
get
in
that
for a
ball.
score. There you go. Norm was able to pull that out there, a low pointer, but
he's a great athlete. He was, again, he's a gold medalist from Sydney and bronze medalist from Athens.
Remember, it's 8-8 here, and here with Rob Rowan and John Bishop doing the color commentary.
We got a timeout here by Texas.
We're xable.com, the website for the disability community covering this quad rugby tournament, and we're really happy to be here, and it's been an exciting day, and we've got more action tomorrow. We've got actually 3 games. We decided to change it on our, so if you looked earlier on our website and you saw us playing the Lakeshore versus Germany game, we moved that one up to Lakeshore playing against the Denver team. Germany lost 2, and we felt that Denver with the 1 win and 1 loss, that might be a more interesting battle there, and Lakeshore still getting covered. The Germans actually have a little team here that is filming them, so we're not worried about the Germans. We're going to get their video, but we thought for the interest of people, Denver should get that second chance.
And as we saw the first game this morning, Denver had started off, they were down by as many as 5 or 6 points in that game, and they came back to, lost by 1 point. So, and they played well this afternoon, and I expect we're going to see more great rugby from them tomorrow.
Now, Demolition took on South Florida, and that was a little bit bigger victory. And so in anyone's mind, I think Texas would like to not have it be where they just squeak by with a win if they end up winning this game. And the Rattlers want this win bad too, because they lost 2-3, puts them pretty much out of any sort of any possibilities, but not too bad.
This is an unusual tournament. We have 7 teams. We're playing a round-robin format, so all the teams are playing 3 games on one day and 2 games the other days. So
when we're trail officials,
it wears on you.
It does.
Makes for a long day. Well, you've been here all day in the gym.
I know. It's a long day.
It's a long day.
Oh, look at that. Say with a nice move. Nice move, and he's worked his way in.
You got a little flat tire there for... Yeah, ideally, Rob, when we play the game, with 8 teams or 7 teams, we like to have 2 courts, and you can run 2 games at the same time. So you finish the day in half the time, and athletes get more rest. But you take what you have.
Shinzo with a flat tire there, getting all fixed. Now, tomorrow we're going to cover 3 games in a row, and then we come back on Sunday. We cover the Lakeshore Team Canada game, which could be a very, very big game, depending on what happens with Team Canada. If they get upset, it might change it. But right now, Lakeshore is cruising, and Team Canada has been strong with a win over Germany, and so and the Texas versus Germany. Basically, that might matter because Texas might need that win, but Germany's out of it.
South Florida can upset them here tonight. Playing under the big lights.
All right, I think we heard that time. I think I missed it the first time. The score is 10-9 here, and we're seeing Texas with the ball, and they have this is their chance to tie it up. Rattlers are staying tough. We'll see how if they can keep that up. The Rattlers didn't do so well in their second game.
No, they struggled against Lakeshore, and
they got it was an obvious victory there.
Well, Lakeshore is a well-rounded team, and they've been playing together. Everyone, with the exception of Joel Wilmuth, has been playing on that squad for 10 years or more. So
look at that pass.
They have a second sense for where each other is on the court. So Rattlers are up 11 to 10.
Well, Lakeshore came in with the number 1 seed, and you could see why. And there, Texas come back. Texas came in with a number 3 seed. Team Canada number 2.
And you have to remember also, Lakeshore isn't even running their full team here this weekend. They're participating in another tournament with the second half of their team in Jacksonville, Florida. So.
Okay, well, nice save, another score. He's been pretty fast and pretty strong here. They scored a good amount of their goals, if not majority of them.
I think Say is responsible for probably
90%.
90% for sure.
Score is 12-11. Texas down by 1, but at this point that doesn't make a difference. They're fighting their way. Look at Mark.
Well, we're just changing points here, and we're going to see which team gives up the first turnover, and turnovers make the difference in this game.
They really do. Ball inbound. there. Covered by Supad.
Yep.
Does he find a hole? Shinjo. Nice pass to Garrett.
Up to Martin and Locke.
Martin's got the ball. He's looking for who's open. He can't pass it back.
There you
He
go.
finds Shea.
And he'll score without any opposition.
It's good to have you here doing color, and I'm doing the play-by-play. Rob Rowan with Xable Sports here, the xable.com, the website for the disability community. Welcome you to check us out. Enjoy some of this great quad rugby and anything else for the disability community like we have it available. Good health issues and information in many ways. Look at that. Mark Chopin. He finds his teammate Shinichi and another score. Score is 13-13 with 1:39 left in the first period, and Garrett doesn't have the speed to really get past Mark that well, but he's a big man. Some other things.
He's a very smart player.
Boy, Mark really put a hard hit on Say, and now look, he's
got him double teamed and tried to get that ball from him.
And then finds the open Martin to work, and there we are, score. They didn't get it all flustered by that pressure there.
No. You have to be strong under pressure. And in this game, there's a lot of pressure.
Oh, look at that, Mark. He just off to the races. He's got, look.
Nice trap in the backcourt here. Let's see if they can.
He gets it over in time, no problem.
Scott and Norm gave Mark some nice picks there that allowed him to get over the half.
What do we have here?
I think maybe we had 4 in the key, but let's see what the refs call. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Say was the 4th man in the key, so he'll come over and spend a minute in the box.
Okay. Well, that gives Texas a nice, easy goal.
And that'll, tie it up.
Back up again. So you happy the way things are turning out with this tournament?
Yeah, the tournament has gone along great with the help of the Palm Beach County Parks and Rec people, and of course we're thrilled that xable.com is here to cover this tournament. As I mentioned before, this is the first time ever in North America where rugby has been covered over the internet, and I'm sure that we've got fans not only in the United States but around the world that are watching.
Oh, what a catch.
That was a beautiful inbound as well.
Yeah, that was, we found him, and Mark goes to block. There's a lot of pressure there, reaching in.
Jump ball.
Jump ball.
Possession will go back to South Florida.
This is the first turnover in a while. One of the first we've seen. Let's see what's going to happen.
Possession is Texas. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Texas has it. Don't worry about it.
South Florida will drop back in the key here. You got 39 seconds left on the clock, so they'll see if they can prevent Texas from scoring.
And Norm's bringing the ball in. He's passing it off to Mark Chopin, and Mark and Shinichi are looking for what they can do here, and Mark doesn't want to do it too soon. He wants to use up all the time if he can, and take the first lead of the game if he can.
You'll see about 10 seconds left on the clock. They'll make their move to put the ball over the goal line.
And there, he was ready to do it right then.
So you got Shimakawa posted up, and he'll turn in.
Look at this.
Get it back to Zupan, and
Zupan scores with 7.2
Beautiful
seconds.
play.
7.2 seconds. Takes the lead for the first time, Texas.
Okay, so we have a contact warning on Texas, their first of the game.
And with 4.4 seconds, can Rattlers score? Doesn't look like not if they can hold on to it like that. Nobody can get open. So at the end of the first quarter, we have Texas up 15-14 over the Rattlers. Close game. And we're going to take a short break here. It's Rob Rowan with xable.com.
Awesome.